Well, guys, now that the 2020 NFL Scouting Combine is officially in the books, let's take a look back at some of the best sights and, of course, the sounds from the future faces of the NFL.
Mekhi Becton. Did we just see him run 5.11? That is insane.
Love the gauntlet. Love it.
Why?
Just keep watching. Somebody's going to look the wrong way.
Oh, they'll take one.
Yeah, they'll take one. Just rip balls at guys.
The dude is 6'4", 250 pounds. Like, what you expect, bro? 5'10". Hey, y'all Photoshop that for real. Like, that looks even worse than the original.
I love watching Cass really do his thing. I got a stopwatch here, I got a player there, and I'm watching him. And they're running fast. I love it.
Don't blink. That's my advice. Do not blink when Henry Ruggs gets to the line.
Well, I mean, and then what happens when I get to the line?
You can take a nap.
That's what it's all about right there.
All right, we really should have started this off with our favorite moments from our own talent, because I love the addition of Mark Ingram this year, of course, Cam Jordan, and then that Charlie Casserly moment.
Big trust.
We actually had some fun with that. Charlie Casserly's Instagram is a must follow.
No kidding.
I just love this.
Tell us about it.
I mean,
tell the viewers at home.
He is literally all personality, especially when he starts going to training camp.
Yes.
He takes us into his world. It's amazing. I mean,
does he do like vacation pictures? Here's my view for the week. Off the balcony.
Actually, you nailed it. James Palmer actually has a better impression. One day, have him do it on the show.
I'm following Charlie
Flattery,
right now.
of course. All right.
Yes.
All right. So, guys, which prospect at the Combine impressed you the most? And of course, Shregs, you were there.
I'm going to go right into it. Friday night, Mekhi Becton steps up and does the 40, and you heard Rich Eisen's reaction. Let me explain who Mekhi Becton is. How about a gentleman who is 6'7", 364 pounds, the heaviest player at the Combine. And, guys, he ran a 5.140, which is the fastest we've ever seen from a player that heavy. Look at this here. 364 pounds, 500. So the heaviest player was sub 5'2", 40-yard dasher. Vita Vea jumped up and was a top 15 pick after his 40. Of course, you're saying, well, who is he? What's he like? You got to watch him run this thing. He was absolutely lightning. Look at the big fella roll.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so we've seen a lot of Combine freaks in our day. Guys, oh, don't worry. By the way, at Louisville, absolutely was an awesome offensive tackle. He did the bench press well as well, because we got those long arms. You can't do a lot. He did 23, which is impressive for that size and the length of his wingspan. I'm talking all these measurables. Let me tell you something. This guy right here moved, he rolled, and coming into the draft, they were saying, okay, he's a first-round pick. Leaving Indianapolis, this big fella who is being compared to Trent Brown, who might be one of the most dominant tackles in our sport, and certainly one of the highest-paid tackles in the sport. This fella might be top 10. He might be top 5 right now. Okay. That's how high that people are talking about Mekhi Becton. When you are that kind of athlete, a good kid, and a great player, your skyrocket stock can go even higher and higher. Everyone walking away Friday night was like, did you see Becton? Did you see Becton? Did you see Becton? Did you see Becton? We saw Becton. Unbelievable performance.
You know how they have this thing, the prospects are going to arrive to the stage at the draft by in a little boat in the Bellagio? Mike Mayock had this quote. He's like, I'm a little worried about Mekhi on that boat, because that thing might sink and bottom out. You know what I mean? Hey, who'd you like?
I'm going with Jonathan Taylor, the running back out of Wisconsin. He's 225, and I believe it was one or two guys who have ran the fastest 40 time at 225 or higher. He ran a 4.39, and this dude was an absolute beast. Just check out the speed, though. He had the perfect form, the explosion, the dry run phase, which is when you extend up and really try to get going. I mean, he can do it all. He can run out of the backfoot, of course, like we're seeing. And check out the footwork, Kyle. I mean, you love running backs that can do it all, right? I remember Christian McCaffrey started showing clips of him doing drills, and we all fell in love with him. Just pay attention to Jonathan Taylor. You're going to fall in love with him as well. My dude had 6,000 yards over 3 seasons.
Hey, 2,000 yards the past 2 years.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
In the Big Ten.
In the Big Ten. And that's over the past 3 seasons, 6,000 yards. Only running back to do that in NCAA history. So if he's going to come in and play at somewhere around a 4.4 with pads on, he'll be a dominant running back. This could be the guy that comes in and steals the show like Saquon Barkley. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Because whatever's over the
I've been thinking about it the
there's
whole
going to
time.
be home improvement.
You have to. I'm right there in Tiger Beat. It is going to be home improvement.
Those drills right there that you saw
Team
him catching the
improvement.
ball, when he's at Wisconsin and their offense is traditionally hand the ball
Lot of
off and
carries.
go, hand the ball. So there was questions, can he catch the ball, can he catch the ball? Did great in the receiving drills. Jonathan Taylor making a move up the door, might be the first running back taken.
Yep. Who do you like, Jane?
You got Jane.
You know, Isaiah Simmons obviously trending on Twitter, and any coach that I talked to about this kid said that when they walked out of the interviews, obviously saw what he did on the field. This guy's going to be a bona fide star. And then let's talk about the fact he ran a 4.39 40-yard dash. This guy's 6'4", 240 pounds. He'll probably play linebacker in the NFL, but keep in mind, he played practically everything at Clemson. What I thought was also interesting is we talked about how fast he was. there were just 4 players, 4 receivers and 2 defensive backs who ran faster than Isaiah Simmons. Again, it's one thing to see what he did on the field. I thought the feedback that I got from a bunch of coaches and GMs that I pulled last night ahead of the show was just, again, across the board, that's the guy is going to be a star, is what one coach said when he walked out of the room.
240 pounds, ran a 4.39 40. You're not supposed to do that. And then to Jane's point, played safety, played linebacker, linebacker. This guy is the most complete player in this draft, and you say that these coaches are raving about him. I'm saying the same thing. The executives were like, this kid in the interviews was awesome. Total package.
We've heard about him all weekend. Twitter exploded, everything. But, Peter, you've been there. You've seen a lot of coaches drool about a lot of players. What was the vibe when he cooked that 4.39?
It was unbelievable. There was draws being dragged out of the combine in Indianapolis. It's one of those things. The guy could be a top 10 pick, and now it's like, how do we not draft him? He skyrocketed up everyone's boards as well.
Well, imagine seeing that guy run as fast as he did and look as big as he did and as strong as he did, and still knowing that you're going to be drafted in front of him. That's Chase Young. That's the guy. Imagine Simmons looks like he's in the Justice League, and I'm still the man without running at all. That's the guy I was most impressed with for a bunch of reasons. When I moved to L.A. in 2002, I've joked with you guys about sport. I used to get to go to, occasionally I go to a premiere, like whatever the bottom of the barrel premiere was. I went to the premiere for John Q in 2002. This like entry-level Denzel movie about healthcare and all this stuff. I will not bury my son. Incredible, right? How you gonna bury me? So I got to go to the premiere. Denzel shows up in the Yankees hat and all his glory, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could get a picture with him in the after party or anything. And the person just says, no. Denzel never goes to the movie. He never goes to the after party. He shows up and does press and then leaves. That's just Denzel's thing. And I'm like, wow, that made me think he's even cooler. Chase Young doesn't run a 40. He doesn't do a first. He shows up, couple conversations, little medical, and he leaves. He is, in fact, the John Q of the combine. And when we were sitting here, when Peter's in Indianapolis all week, and we kept going to Peter for interviews, and this guy, when we went to Peter with the Chase Young, it felt like there was a star on the show. This is what I'm talking about. He was asked about by Peter, why is he not working out? And he's like, look, I'm no Mike Mamula. I'm a game day guy.
You're not going to compete in the drills. What went into that decision, saying I'm just going to sit pretty, I'm good, I'll meet with all the teams, I'll do the medical evaluations, but there will be no 40-yard dash from Chase Young?
I think me and my team, we decided to do that just because when that day one, when I step on the field, I want to be football ready. I'm not trying to compete to be, a combine player. I want to compete to be a football player, and just know when I step on that field, day one, I'll be ready.
We all get exactly what he means, and he will be ready day one. The cliche these days is that he's a creative player in Madden, and we've heard that about a lot of guys. But if you've been watching Madden lately, you can also pick the player's personality. Like, they're in situations where the coach says, should we run it up or should we take it easy? And you as a player can elect to say, run the score up on him, coach. I feel like if you were picking Chase Young's personality, too, I would have picked some of those quotes that he said about I'm not a combine player. He was the guy for me, despite not really working out at all.
Yeah. You have to wonder, is there an air of mystery, too? In other words, is the intrigue go a little higher for some of these coaches? Because while you've seen guys impress you on the field and in the interviews, if there's still a little bit left for them to see, does it keep them top of mind? In other words, I still want to see more from this guy. So I guess there's 2 schools of thought.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Good stuff.
All right, well, the receivers balled out at the combine. But how well do you really know these guys? Peter is going to put us to the test.
A Rug's life. Great.